Hey, welcome. My name is John Disque, and today we're going to up our pool game. Yeah, this video I'm titling Playing It Safe, but I'm not talking about playing safeties. I'm talking about taking the right shot on the right ball to further increase your chances and your odds of running the whole rack, not just getting on the next ball or the next two balls, but increasing your chances and your odds of running the whole rack. But first, we're going to take a little bit of a drive down yonder, take a picture of the outside of the new pool room. It's finally open, and after the intro, we'll go on the inside. Eventually, I'll give you a tour of the whole building, but it's not going to be in this video here. I have to get comfortable with it first. Peace. Thanks again for tuning in. Bit of an odd view, eh? Hey, here's the newness, but we're going to get on with this rack. And let's take a look at it. Here's the cue ball. Here's the one ball. Here's the two ball. The three's back up there. Four's back down here. Five's back up there. And the six is right there. The seven's right there. Eight's right there. And the nine's right there. What appears to be an easy run out isn't exactly easy. We have a couple problems, and the biggest one being this 7 ball is a beach ball, taking up a lot of room and eliminating a lot of shots. Yeah, it's a problem, and let's go ahead and roll it, and I'll show you why it's a problem. And first, I have to take a drink. That back there in the blue shirt is Old McDonald, Steve McDonald, associated with Diamond Billiard Products, and he runs a lot of the bigger tournaments on the eastern side of the United States. You can find him at Derby, and just kind of around the southeast. He's known by all the big players, and he gets to hang out with all the big players. He's a one-pocket player himself. He's not big in the 9 ball or 8 ball. Maybe a little bit of banks, but that's about it. He just dogged a shot, so he's not happy with it. But let's get back to our table here. Yeah, he's trying to walk off that dogged shot. We all do it, Steve. Don't sweat it. Running up on this 2 ball. Yeah, let's go back a little before I shoot this, and you'll see me point. You see the line I'm looking for right there? Well, that's the line I need coming off this 2 ball. I want to avoid this 4, but I wind up hitting it. So what do I need to be on this 2 ball when I shoot this 1 to get this line and get back up on this 3? And I'm not trying to get close to the 3. I'm not trying to get on this side of the 3. I need to stay on, this side of the 7. I need to stay on this side of the 7. And forget trying to get close to the 3 ball. Just stay on that side and avoid getting behind it or getting in bad position. So you're just rolling up on this 1 to get that line on that 3. And we're settling for a long shot on the 3 because, yeah, see, if it didn't hit that 4 and it went too hard off this rail, you don't want to get stuck behind here, and you don't want to get long on the 3 because it's going to make it hard to get back on this 4 ball. And so here's where a lot of amateurs make a big mistake. So before I proceed, I want to show you this common everyday mistake that I see all the time by amateurs. And they will try to spin this ball off this rail, the bottom rail, and come back up and bounce up on the 4 ball, which at first glance seems like, a decent plan. But there's a lot of room that you can get stuck behind here. You can wind up hitting this 6 as you spin it off this rail. You can wind up scratching. So you only have like a narrow, like 4-inch alleyway here to get good on the 4, and it's still going to be a hard cut on the 4 if you get in that alley. That's a big if. There's too much space on this pool table to get bad on, and only a little bit to get good on this 4 if you try to spin it off this bottom round. So the answer here is to keep it simple and settle for the long shot on this 4. So instead of spinning it this way, 2 rails, we're going to put right hand English on it and not running English. We're going to kill it off this rail and just bounce up, and by all means, again, you got to stay on this side of the 7 ball to have a shot on this 4 ball. So there's a lot less that can go wrong with this shot, the way I play it with right hand English to kill it off that rail. I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing, but if you cut that cue ball loose trying to get perfect on this 4, you're not going to get perfect. And that's a big mistake. They'll go for it when it's a whole lot easier to just take the longer shot and keep it simple. And that's probably the biggest mistake of good players losing. Good advanced pool players, they'll wind up trying to do too much with the cue ball, and the more you do with that cue ball, the less chance you have of getting right on the following ball and running this rack. It's about running the rack, not making balls. So you got to do what's best to run the rack, not just make one ball. And here's another mistake players will make again with moving. They'll try to kill this. They'll hit it hard, and because they have a bad angle in it, no matter how much they try to stun or kill this ball, you're going to wind up on top of the 6, and you're going to have to settle for a bank or playing a safety on the 6. And all you have to do is shoot this like a total wuss and just roll up on the 5. And you might not have a great angle on the 6, but at least you're not going to be on top of it. Yeah, just shoot it softly. And you still have an angle, and we're not going to get great on the 7 ball, especially because the rails on this table were set too high, so the tablecloth is super fast, but now the rails are dead. Not because they're bad rails, but because they're the wrong rails for this table, and they're hitting way higher on the cue ball than they're supposed to. So it's kind of killing it off the rail while the cloth itself is fast, and it's crazy. It's a crazy table to play on. All the rest of them were set up okay. This one was set up wrong. They put the wrong rails in, but I like it. It's a challenge for me to figure out this table. Nobody else wants to play on it, but I know that once I get used to this table, Efren Reyes could come in and we'll play some, because he ain't going to understand he will understand, but it's going to take him a while to adjust to it. Oh, that sounded arrogant, didn't it? So you see, we don't have, a straight-in shot on the 4 to just roll up on the 7 to just roll up on the 8. But it's okay. We're still at the table. We didn't screw anything up too bad. So we're just cutting the 7 and coming down off the bottom round, and that should give us a perfect shot on the 8 to get back on the 9. There's the famous Billy Bates. You notice these guys are wearing the same shirts. Let's go back and turn up the volume on Billy, because this is kind of... Here's check this out.
There's the Reverend Billy. What's up, my friends?
Yeah, right in the middle of a shot. That's okay. I mean, if you can play in the bars, you're used to this stuff. It ain't no big deal. I'm not matched up with anyone right now. If he did that while I was matched up and in a serious game, I would have said, "Yo, Billy." And he doesn't mean any harm. He's just not thinking. Anyway, there you go. Uh, Thank you guys for tuning in. Look, I'm looking at you like, yeah, I got to deal with this. Yeah, get me out of here. It's a nice place. The place is nice, as you can see. The lighting is awesome. And I don't have a great camera angle on this because you can see by looking around the room, there's absolutely no shelving, no cabinets, no nothing. I have my camera set up on the popcorn machine, and it's just not high enough, and I don't like the angle, but I'm doing the best I can here. Hopefully they get some shelving here. Anyway, peace everybody. Thank you again. Bye.